Disregard the last video, World of YouTube out you here. I couldn't do the live session. It says I have bars, but I have none. Dirtbag. Anyways, I am here today at a complex, as you can see, very small places. And due to the fact that I knew someone that had lived here, right down at this corner apartment long ago, I was, made a little aware of what these places are, and these are for mostly elderly people that, are by themselves, can't afford much, and right, it's a cheap place to live. Now, if I could be wrong, but I believe that it was back in the 90s that this place was probably about $200 a month, and I think it still is $200. But due to the fact that what had happened the other day at this complex, very sad, disturbing, and not surprising of what happened here the other day. I was coming home the other day and I was checking out some helicopters flying over. And I'm thinking, oh, geez, I wonder what's going on up in the old burg now. Again, mind you, never a dull moment. But like I say, this story is tragic. Very tragic and disgusting at that. And this has got to do with, I like to throw in there, of course, the point I've been trying to make for the last year on rent adjustments. Rent adjustments. Yeah, that's right. And when rent adjustments go up and people cannot afford things in these time of days, well, guess what happens? With this poor person suffered depression and all in all wanting to kill himself. And there's a twist to this story. He was once homeless. He did not want to go back to being homeless. So he took it upon himself to set himself on fire and kill himself. Right? Somewhere in the mix of these buildings, there was a blaze of fire, smoke, all in here, right around that area. Just because the rent was going up and the man could not afford it. Now tell me what the hell's wrong with society today. You got the Attorney General's office in the state of Massachusetts. And everybody believed in, I've heard hundreds of people talk about first, last security. And how you are only to either pay first, last, or security and last, or security first, whatever the mix-up ordeal, BS crap, is. The Attorney General's office, if you go on their homepage, states that landlords have the right to charge you first, last, security. Right. How sick can that be? You know something, quite frankly, with the times changing, and what I was just saying a minute ago about my rent adjustment, which I know what happened with my rent adjustment with RCAP Solutions. They knew the economy change was going up, so they had sent my rent as high as they could, to before it even changed, right? They set my rent as high as it was going to be for the change before it ever happened. That's what they've done to me. Come to my conclusions of what this sick friggin' world comes to. Money, greed. And now landlords can charge you first, last, security. Hell, even when I even began RCAP Solutions, you were to find places with heat and hot water included. Now, if you go on RCAP Solutions webpage, landlords can charge you for heat, hot water, and electricity. All in one big fat bundle. And people that know Fitchburg best, with a company called Unibill, which I like to call them, because your bill, and I can guarantee there's an article in the newspaper that an 80-year-old woman said that her parents and herself had nothing in 80 years that she'd been born but problems with Unitil and their high adjusted light bills. So that leads me to come back to this story. Now I'm sure they get a cut. Maybe, I don't know, I never asked about the light bills in this place. But I'm sure they might give a, half cut paid rent and, your half cut paid light bill. But that being said, I'm still, where I get a light bill and it's up in the 130 to 180 range. Hell, sometimes even up to 190. The thing adjusts itself all the time. And that's with subdivided housing. So, that being said, when I used to live in apartments, mind you, in this town let alone, the friggin', my light bill would be $400-$500 tops. And if you miss that payment, it can well go up to $1,000. It's just sick. People need roommates to live in this town. That's why everybody has family members bunking with each other in this town, because of the light bill is horrific. Not only are you paying a high rent, which now the standard rents in Fitchburg are up to $1,200-$1,500. Oh yes, it's true. As the great Kurt Angle says in wrestling, it's damn true. And that's disgusting to me. So not only are you paying up to about $500 on your light bill, this guy, his rent change was going up to $400, mind you, which, yes, that means that it was $200, right? Because it was in the newspaper article the other day. $200 for rent, going up to $400, plus his light bill. And I guarantee that's pretty much all his disability check, if that's even what he gets. Because, right, this is like elderly housing. So, where does one live? If you think about it, if he would have got evicted from this place because he couldn't pay his rent, have to go find another place, where's he getting the first last security? Please tell me. And not only that, mortgages are even cheaper than paying rent in the town of Fitchburg. I know a friend right now lives in Fitchburg. $1,000 a month. And he's got a huge one-family house. And it's like, wow. I know this person personally, and he told me his mortgage price. So when you're paying $1,500 for a 3-bedroom apartment, $1,100, $1,112 for a 2-bedroom apartment. This ain't friggin' outskirts of Boston. This is a goddamn opioid addicted crackville shithole that is literally falling down, houses being torn down, buildings torn down. I've lived in this town since 1984. And even down there is right. Rent back in 1984 in this town where I live in a 3-bedroom apartment, $250. Yeah, that's right, $250. And now the rent where my father now lives and pays up to about $750. It is cheap, but I'll tell you right now, the building is falling apart. Everything needs to be redone. They've done what they couldn't in the apartment my father lives in, but that whole crap hole has been, never maintenance. The people who did it, own it before, never kept up on it. Never. They were working on it, but ended up losing it because they couldn't get rid of the lead in it and blah, blah, blah. You know, it all goes on and on and on and on. And I mean, I tell you, this poor guy right here, and that's why I wanted to do this video mainly, is because, right, people like this, he didn't want to live on the streets again, and he was going to get forced because his rent went up. And that's just sad. The man set himself on fire. Died at the hospital in Boston burn unit. And I mean, that leads me to another story in Leominster. Another guy burned himself out there for mental problem issues, but who knows why with his mental issues of what he was doing and going through. And it could mostly damn well be another living status. He was living with family. Maybe he wanted to get out on his own, you know, or whatnot. Or maybe something, you know, I can't speak for the guy. I can't say nothing. Of course, everything is kept silent that way, but still, things like this is something to think of. And for this state, and it all goes back to the Indians, ripping off Indians, stealing their land, and making taxes be paid, blah, blah, blah. And we're still dealing with it here in the millennium years, and it's even getting worse. People don't want to live in this economy just to pay rent, their lights. And I can guarantee this guy was limited on food. Because me, family of 6, is limited on food. I have no money up till this point of today. And I'll tell you, it's been Roman noodles and spaghetti and sauce nights, which I'm thankful for my kids like a lot, because if they didn't, they'd be starving. But still, there you go, health issues with, oh, too much sugar in your pasta, noodles, sugar, right. And yeah, oh man, all around, you can't win in this world. It's about, I wonder why people are doing this. It's insane. How do you live unless you're a millionaire? And then you got millionaires telling people that, I was like Jim Carrey. I love the guy, great comedian. But he said once in a comment I read, I wish everybody could be a millionaire to find out that it ain't what it's like to be. He's crying. Well, why don't he give me his money? And he can come down here and live my life and be poor. Shit. What I would do with him, you know what? This is the thing with people with lots of money. Yeah, they think with greed in themselves. And if they didn't think like that, or anybody in that matter, hell, this world will be a better place to live. But sad situation over here. Very sad. I don't know what else to say, what to do, but I'm trying to fight my battle myself. I feel for this guy. I feel for what they go through down here, man. And, Joe, it's tough as all can be. And to fight in this world, if you survive and get out of your worries, thoughts, and sorrow, then you are a true warrior. And put your war paint on. Because I know a lot of people that have, in the late 90s, poor people that have killed themselves because of the change. And it wasn't like it was back when we were kids. Close friends died because it wasn't like we're back when we were kids. And now, if I could swear to God they were alive today, man, Jesus Christ, I'd hate to see what they go through now, man. Just sad. Everybody's got to fight with the devil. But one day that devil should be beat. I think everybody should stand up stronger than evil itself. And try to pass through this shit. Because, man, this world is getting into a bit of chaos. It sucks to see it that way, man. Other than that, YouTube Nation, be safe, take care. And don't let this shithole world get the best of you. Stay strong. Stick your head up above it. Fight it. That's what you gotta do. Or you're gonna end up like this poor man. Sad. I'd like to take a moment of silence. Until that next video, YouTube Nation, out.